Hello again, and welcome back to the Trench. With the New Year preview happening 6 days ago, and me definitely not being late in the slightest, not at all, I thought it would be the best time to give you my definitely very, very important opinion on a bunch of expensive plastic. So, let's start with the first reveal, that was Chaos Space Marines. Start of the preview, we got the reveal of this lovely lot. Look at them all. With Huron Blackheart and the Masters of the Maelstrom being part of the Red Corsairs. So, Huron Blackheart, he looks good. We knew from when he originally got revealed. But the other ones, some of them look really good in my opinion. And then there's literally just one that I'm very confused about. But we'll start off with the the guy, right, who appears on screen there, and yeah, the guy. So the guy here, right, the guy here is Garion the Corpse Master, sorry. And in my opinion, this is the best model that they showed off for like this group. I think it looks perfect. It's a heretic apothecary basically. He just looks really cool. I love his design. I like the whole claw parts of it, and honestly, it's a good reveal for him. As well as him being a corpse master, though, he is also Lord Apothecary, so an apothecary as we know, and he's a former Astral Claw. So honestly, brilliant model. Poor one of his guys on the floor. He didn't deserve the pain, but he got it. And I would give this model probably a solid. I'll give it a solid like 8 out of 10. It looks fantastic. So next up we have Qatar Garrix. I've probably butchered that name, but he is the cold-hearted headsman, formerly of the Executioners. Now, this model, I was watching this with my friend, and the first thing I thought is a lot of kit bash potential here. The head could be used for like a chaplain. The axe, to be fair, it looks like it belongs in Age of Sigmar a little bit, but you could use it for everything. And his armor is so clean. I don't know. I see kit bash potential in every single part of this model. But as a model that's just not about kit bashing, it is good. I think it looks good. Like I said, it's clean. A lot of skulls. I don't know much about the Maelstrom story. I probably should read up on it. But the only thing I don't like about this model is the head on the left shoulder pad. It just looks off to me. I think it should have been like built in it instead. So because of that, I'm probably going to give it like a 6.5 for me because that just puts me off a lot. But everything else, in my opinion, is good and like I said, great kit bash potential. Oh, and he looks like Skeletor. Actually, I want to add that in. The head kind of looks like Skeletor a little bit, and that was not my opinion. That was what my friend said. And yeah, I have to admit, he kind of does look like Skeletor. So next up, we have Garland Soul Eater. He is a master manipulator and a deadly sorcerer once under the banner of the Mantis Warriors. The Mantis Warriors being a successor to the Ultramarines, I believe. I think. I will put what they are at the top of the screen if I'm not wrong. But this model, very clean. It's, I want to say simple in terms of like chaos, but I feel like I would be wrong. It's clean. His staff looks alright. I don't understand the design of it, but it looks alright. I like the bones on his shoulder and the way it comes round and everything. It looks so good. The only thing I don't like is the head. It looks a little bit thingy for me. By thingy, I mean I don't know. It just doesn't look like it fits Chaos Space Marines for me. I don't know, but everything else I like. And to be fair, I can't wait to see how people put him into a Thousand Sons army. Even though he doesn't fit there, he'll be a good proxy because he's got that kind of Thousand Sons feel. But ultimately, yeah, my score I would give him, because now I'm giving out scores like I've done for the previous two. We're going to go with it. I would give him a 7. Solid 7. So next up is Captain Sargotta. And she is basically, she's a shipmaster in the Red Corsairs fleet and the chief architect of their many naval victories. Which, she's a pirate, right? Which is fair. And I don't actually know if we've had any other pirates from 40k before. Like, seen. I'm probably incredibly wrong. But honestly, though, looking at the model, I think it's good. Right? I've said that about everything, but we'll get onto some later that I just, well, in a minute actually, that I just don't like. But this one, I like the pirate aspect of it. Um, I will find a way, if I ever do get this model, to kit bash it into Jack Sparrow for all the right reasons. But the colours are clean. I like the whole mechanical platform thing that she's standing on. There's seals everywhere. The colours just go well. And yeah, if I had to give this model a rating, probably 7.5. It's clean, all the colours match well, so yeah, 7.5. So now we move on to the last model that got revealed, being the bounty hunter known as the Enforcer. Now I have some choice words to say about this model in the fact of I do not like it. Because it is a she, is strange in a way, realistically, because she doesn't fit into the Chaos Space Marines, in my opinion. Like, sure, you have like Chaos Demons and stuff like this, but when I first saw this, I generally thought I was swapped over to a Star Wars preview. She just looks like she belongs in Star Wars. She's got the white armor that just looks like Star Wars. The shotgun is cool, I'll give it that. Right? And the little dog companion she has with her looks like it belongs in Warhammer with the cats, but this one just looks a bit different, and I'm not sure I really like it, and really yeah, and like I said, so I would if I was giving this one a rating 4 because of the dog, I guess the dog looks good. I think the dog was done really well, so yeah, 4. So the final thing that the Red Corsairs got was a Battle Force box containing basically just a few new stuff, but mainly just Chaos Space Marines in the way of the Red Corsairs. So they got some Red Corsair Raiders that is in the box somewhere. I think it's the left side of the box, which it is, yeah, bottom left. And they look good. These are new, I do believe, instead of being a normal Chaos Space Marine stuff that you'd get. And then in the middle, direct middle, you got a Reaver Captain, which you can have with a mace, which I think you have to have him with a mace. He just looks like he's built for it. Or a Power Sword Cutlass, looking clean, and a Plasma Pistol. As well as the rest of them are just normal stuff, just but in the Red Corsairs colours. So you have the Terminators, the Traitor Guardsmen, and then the normal Legionnaires. But I think it all looks good, to be fair. Good little box for the Red Corsairs. So yeah. They also got an upgrade sprue, which is the exact same as every upgrade sprue. It comes with the shoulder pads and then the transfer sheets. Now, moving away from Chaos, we're going to move on to the Aldari. Now, I originally thought this was the Jukari when I first done this. Flipping, yeah, like I've done this before from the future. No, when I first looked at him, I was very much wrong. But this is Prince Yerif, probably butchered that, and he's a new hero for the Aldari. Prince Yeril wields his legendary Spear of Twilight, and yeah, I think he looks right, really. I'm not really a big fan of the Aldari range. I mean, they've got a couple cool ones that when they had their model refresh, I have to admit. But this one, it's clean. The colours are clean. It all matches. but it's not a model for me personally. So I would give this one a I give it a 6. It's just not personally for me, but it is a clean model. Moving on from Yarrow over there, right, we have these, the Sky Reavers. Now, these I like. They're good, they're clean, they look good. And another thing, right, which I actually really like about these, which I think Games Workshop should do more, is they're supposed to be flying, but they're not flying, in the sense of they're standing on these pedestal things, which I believe is so much better than the flying sticks they give you. For vehicles, fair enough, right, because they're usually small, you can't really see them that much because they're underneath the vehicle. I don't mind that. But when it comes to models like this, I just don't like. I don't like the stick. It just bothers me. It's a bit like why I don't use drones in my tower army, because they're just annoying in the way, and the sticks look horrid. But enough of my rant about sticks. These look good, right? I like for weapons, the wings, the armor. They just look really, really good. The variations that you can have on them is you can have go full melee, you can throw in some weapon from guns as well, and I believe you can even have yeah, you can have armor piercing weapons in there as well, meaning you could use these to deal with vehicles, and I will be very surprised if these don't release with Deep Strike, because they just feel like they should have Deep Strike. And I would honestly give these a rating of, these are an 8 for me. 8, I really like them. So coming up next for the Eldari is it's my boy Greedo. He survived Han. He's back. He's back. Yes, I knew he survived being shot in the cantina by Han, but no. In all seriousness, this is Karsef. Right, definitely did not have to quickly change tab to look at that to come back. So Karsef here is another new hero that we are getting in the Abdari range, and he is a Void Dreamer in a sense. He's had the skills of a gifted Void Dreamer, and he attacks from the darkness and stuff like that. But he has a very, like I said, a very, very, very strong services to Greeder. The model itself is very clean, like I said, in colours, and I actually prefer this one over the last one. The robes just they match and they look good. But and yeah, I would give Greedo, I mean Karasef, I'll give him a 7. He's a solid model. The last new thing coming to the Aldari lineup is the Viper and the Starfang. The Viper being the red one, and the Starfang being the blue one. Now, I don't mind these two. I think they look good, but I much prefer the red one over the blue one. It just looks it looks more like a ship that you would be scared of, more one that would actually do more damage. While the blue one looks more like it's meant for like speed and to get in, do a bit of damage and get out, a bit like cavalry in a sense. So as a combined pair where we're going to be made of the same kit, I will I'll give them a solid. I'll give them a 7. I think a 7's fair. So everything that has been mentioned previously will be available in a new Battle Force box eventually, whenever it gets released. But also, as long as all the new stuff, you get some one unit of stuff that was already available, being the let me scroll down here. Uh, the Ural Raiders, I believe is what they're called. Nope, the Coruscant Void Scared. There we go. That's what they are. You will get a squad of 10 of them, as well as 2 squads of the Sky Reavers and the heroes and the vehicle. The last thing for 40k to be revealed was a little teaser, right, for the Iron Warriors. So there's this image and a few others, but this is the main one that really screams Iron Warriors. And I don't think it'd be their Primarch, but it might be their Primarch. I don't know much about the Iron Warriors, so I can't tell you much. But yeah, it's a good teaser anyway. And now, why does this feel like it should have been last year? Like last year was supposed to be the year of chaos, like I probably said a million times in other videos now. But all this feels like it should have been Christmas last year. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy we're getting it this year, but it just feels like it should have been last year. But with all that said, I now think it's time we get on to the other sides of Warhammer, starting off with Age of Sigmar. So, starting Age of Sigmar off, we're starting it off with some bony boys, some skeletons. Yes, I really like skeleton warriors for some random reason. That's the autism working, that is. But we're starting it off with the Ocearch Bone Reapers. Definitely did not get that right. And so we're starting off with Liege Cavios on War Chariot. So this chariot looks brilliant. Alright, and you're going to see two. So you can either build it as this guy, the one on the left, being a hero in chariot, which you can apparently put with other chariots. So you can have lead a bony boy. That really sounds mad. I should probably start saying that. But you can have this guy leading other chariots. Or you can build it as just a normal chariot with a couple lads on it. And these models are really, really good. I like the whole skeleton horses. It looks fantastic. And I would actually, if I was building this, I would build it the hero way personally. Because during the live stream, they said that it had something like 12 wounds. Mad. But yeah, I would 100% build it as hero. And if I'm going to rank these separately, because they're different. So the hero I will rank as, I'm going to put it as a 9. I think it looks brilliant. And the other lad, the one with the lads, I'm going to put that as an 8.5. Both brilliant models. So yeah. So next up for the bone people, we have League Mortek. So League Mortek is the hero that comes in the box. And his model is pretty good, to be fair. I think it looks good. He still follows the same skelly thing. Well, he's going to follow the same skelly thing. He's skeleton, so that was kind of useless to say. But honestly, he's a good model, and I like little bird. That's also a skeleton on his left. So I would give him a solid. I'll give him a solid 7. 7 is solid. Now, in my opinion, right, we are getting on to the best model that was released. No, it wasn't released yet. That was announced. These guys, the Mortek Tri-Axes. Even though they have nothing to do with axes and use bows and arrows, but that's the name. And these look, in my opinion, magnificent. They are perfect, right? It's a bone man with an arch. With an archer? Yep, with an archer. We're going to go with that. With a bow, right? The bow itself is made out of bone. The colours match the darkness of the bones. And they've got bows again. They've got bows. For some reason, this just really, it really just talks to me. And in my opinion, this is the best model. And it is a solid 10 out of 10. I mean, imagine, like, you bring your lizard men, right? Or your Skaven and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you rock up to the battlefield and all you see is a skeleton with a bow. I don't know. If that was me, I'll just turn around and run, really. It's a really cool model. So yeah, 10 out of 10. So next up on the agenda for the Skelly Boys is these, the Mortis Reapers. See, now you are only seeing 4 out of the 5. And that is because I believe the 5th one, aka the leader, is the most horriblest model out of all of them. It's not horrible, it's just one specific feature that I just don't like. But let's talk about the good before we get to the negative, right? So the good thing about the Mortis Reapers are they're very stealthy, right? So they're probably gonna play well in being stealthy, if you didn't know. And honestly, these models look brilliant in my opinion. Do you know, I've said that about every model in this range, but the whole bone aspect, but still we're keeping the darkish colours, is brilliant. The paint and the smoke is going to be painful, but apart from that, these are brilliant. And now onto the model I don't like, right? And mainly because, what is that thing on his chin, right? The chin thing ruins the whole model for me, because it just sticks out and it just looks off. But with all that said, if I was going to rate these, I would rate them a solid 6.5. I feel like I've been a bit too mean on that one, but 6.5. And that basically wraps it up for new models for the Skelly Boys. They also will be getting a new spearhead that comes with a lot of horses. So if you like undead horses, which majority of people do, I mean, come on, it's an undead horse. As well as a regiment of renowned that comes with a lot of shields and a lady in the middle who the people who were hosting the New Year's preview said that she is basically painful to deal with because she can make your units have to use command points to even attack, which I just think's dumb. And the last thing with the Skelly Boys is they're also coming in. Well, there's going to be a new Battle Force box, which just comes with all the big things, just a lot of big. So that does it for Age of Sigmar's Skelly Boys. Okay, so we are 21 minutes in. I've been talking too much, and now it's time to do a bit of speed running, right? We're going to speed run the next couple things, right? So, the speed run starts now. Alright, so we've got Zeech. Zeech got a new hero. He looks pretty good, to be fair. He's been working leg day way too much. I think he needs to stop hitting the gym. Then you get these tower things. They look pretty cool. Flesh ripping apart. It's part of the mechanic. Banging. They look brilliant. I've got a rating for the top guy. Give him a 7.2. This 7.8, solid, so absolutely solid. Then they're getting a new Battle Force, right? It's solid. I mean, it's got blue horrors, pink horrors, big thing, chariot thing, a lot of things really. It's pretty good to be fair. Here, there's the image on screen. They're getting a new spearhead as well that comes with a lot of flying boys on saucers. They're not saucers, but flying boys, and then some blue horrors. I don't think they're called blue horrors, but basic infantry. They're then getting a regiment of renown, Seekers of Silver. They look alright. And now we're getting on to this faction. Don't know what it is. 1 minute. Sorry about that. Probably should cut that out. The new hero looks good, to be fair. I hope you can put his helmet on, because if not, I don't really like the look of it. Then you get another hero. Brilliant colours, right? But my main concern is on both of these, your sheath is under a cloak and then on another cloak, so trying to put your sword back away is going to be basically impossible. But physics don't exist here, clearly. They're also getting a Battle Force box that comes with basically a old medieval army. Essentially, it's got swordsmen, shieldmen, and archers, and catapult. But it looks like an old, like a medieval thing. They're then getting a spearhead with whatever that is on the left. Weird horse dinosaur mix thing. Looks like it belongs to an avatar, to be fair. And then a couple of heroes in baseline infantry. And then it's also getting a regiment of renown, which is like a sorcerer who can do sorcery stuff. Right? It looks pretty good. I've forgot ratings for all the rest of them, but you know what? We'll give them all, the whole thing combined, we'll give it a solid 6. So now on to Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl being Warhammer fantasy, but football. Because fantasy football and fantasy. Because it just works, right? So now, right, I need to clear my throat again. Brilliant. But we're just going to grin and bear it. You're going to have to deal with this. Is these lads. I figured out what the last ones were called as well. They're called High Elves, right, because of this. So you get a whole fantasy football league being 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 men. Sounds a bit mad, but you get 12 people, right? And that's about as where my knowledge of Blood Bowl ends. I don't know anything about it. So here is what you go. We'll base it off the miniatures, right? Honestly, they look alright. I think I actually prefer these over the last ones. So yeah, I'm gonna give them a 7. I like the look of them. Now we move on to the Horus Heresy. The Horus Heresy, where Horus was basically a whingy bitch and just, yeah, he didn't like it, turned to chaos and done a couple things. But we're not here for Horus. We're here for the Custodes. So the big, big Space Marines, essentially, I'm going to call them. The Custodes got some, basically got like a couple new models, but mainly just a model refresh in a way. So we got some new basic infantry with the spears instead of swords and shields. They look pretty good. I mean, they look like Primaris a little bit, but obviously I know Custodes can't go Primaris, I don't believe. Especially during the Horus Heresy, when Primaris wouldn't even have existed. Which, yeah. So we got some new spear people. We also got the swords and shields, which look clean. I mean, the Custodes have always looked clean, and these, they're a bit taller and they look a bit cleaner. And that does it for the infantry. And so if I'm going to judge these two infantries, I'm going to put them together. Honestly, I'll give them. I think I'll give them a 7. They're nice, they're clean, a lot of detail, bit paint, so it might be a little bit annoying to paint, but solid models. So next up in the Custodes range to be revealed is Tank. Big Tank. So the tank can be built 3 separate ways. Like you can build like a normal tank, you can build it like a Halo tank, and then you can build it as like more of a transport, I believe. So going off the first one, which is the normal tank, it look it looks good. I'm not even gonna lie, it looks good. The colors are clean. It's it's a boss big tank. It looks good. The gold, the red, it just look it goes. I like the gun as well. The second tank is more, yeah, more of a Halo tank. If you know what I mean, you get what I mean. It's same kind of gimmick, really. It's the same color, same everything, and basically the same design. And then the third one is more of like a scout one, I would say, because it's got no big cannons. It's realistically just got 2 machine guns on it. So I actually think this one looks the worst out of all of them. And if I was gonna rate these, I would rate the tank. I'll give it a 7.5. I'll give it a 7.5, mainly because the last option just brings it down. But obviously, it's preference. I would personally go for the second one or the first one. Now, on to the creme of the creme for the Custodes, the Dreadnoughts. The Dreadnoughts, in my opinion, that got revealed look brilliant, right? So you have one with a spear, right? So classic Custode weapon, right? And they look perfect. And I mean perfect, right? The trim is there, the gold is gold. I didn't know where I was going with that one, but it looks fantastic. And then you have the option with the sword and shield, so the other classic custody kind of weapon. And yeah, it still looks really good, but I actually prefer it with the shield. So if I was ranking these, I would give the one with the spear a 9, and the one without a spear an 8.5. But brilliant models. So next for the Custodes reveals should have been, if I was going down Warhammer Community, which I've been doing, should have been the Custodes leader. But I don't believe on ending with a negative instead of a positive. So that means it's gonna be negative what I'm about to say. But the next thing on the agenda is these lot, right? And I think these generally look really bad. One, because they don't look like Custodes whatsoever. They look like normal people, which they probably are, or maybe not. But they just look so off. The wings look like they should be bigger to hold them. The armor, I like the armor, so I'll give them the props on that. But they just don't match the Custodes. Custodes like 9 foot. These look about like 6. It just looks very off to me, and I'm gonna give them a I'm gonna give them a 4.5. I mean, the armor saves them, but the jetpacks don't match for the size of them, and they just look way too small. And to end the custodians and actually all the reveals for what was revealed at the New Year preview with a high, we go on to the Custodes Captain, which does look really good. I mean, the armor's clean, the shield's clean, the red goes with the gold. It is very good. I think the only thing about the model that I would actually change is I think I would have more red. Like maybe on the inseams coming down a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I think it's just me. But I think it's a very good model. And I actually prefer the gold on this one, like on the shield, to the shield on the Dreadnought. Because it's the same gold to then a different gold on the Dreadnought. But yeah, I'm gonna give this one a rating of I'll give it a 9 as well. Very solid. But with that being said, that is the end of the video. Um, all the reviews were all right. Well, some of them were good, some of them were terrible. But I hope you enjoyed me ranting for about 30 something minutes. And if you did, I would appreciate it a ton if you could just drop a subscribe. That's not how that works. If you want to drop a sub, it would mean a lot. If not, it's fine anyway. I just hope that you enjoyed. And with that being said, in a bit.